Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another 3DS and Pitch for Switch combo video. This is probably going to be the last one for a little while because I've put out a bunch of them over the last few weeks. And I know you guys are like probably wondering why I did that, but it was just one of those things where I had the idea to do it. So I went ahead with it. But this time I'm going to be talking about Sonic Adventure, the Duology, because there's actually only two Sonic Adventure games. I mean, Sonic 06 would have been the third, but it isn't, so we're not counting that anyway. Plus, that was a horrible game. So, so we're going to move back to the other two games. Now, I'm going to preface this because there's that rumor about there possibly being a Sonic Adventure remake. And while I understand there are people that don't feel that that game needs a remake, having recently played it again and playing it on Steam, I disagree. It needs a remake. Not because of the horrible voice acting, though that could be fixed, but there are just some things with the game as far as like the camera angles are concerned when you're playing at certain times where the game will just throw you at an angle where it literally messes up the function of you controlling your character. My one example is Red Mountain. Once you're inside the mountain with Sonic, if you move too fast through the inner areas of that mountain, the camera can lock in positions where it makes it impossible for you to actually make any progress and you can't turn the camera. Like, just for example. And another example is that there are times during cutscenes where, like, the one example is the one where E102 Gamma fights Sonic, or you're playing with Tails. I think it happens with both of them. Tails takes flight, but his tails aren't spinning at all. They're just like flapping in the wind, and it just looks funny. So yeah, the game could use a remake. At the very least, it could use some corrections. But that being said, if they're going to do a remake, then the remake should be on the Switch and I guess the Xbox One and PS4 and PC. And they should do like not necessarily a fully remade version of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 for like the DS. I'd say take the versions of those games that were already out there and put those over on the DS as part of this duology, this compilation. Just put those together on the DS. Like, and I know somebody's gonna be like, "Why would you put these on the DS? Like with that tiny screen?" But like when you think about it, it honestly wouldn't be a bad choice. Like, and the things that I mentioned for the remake, they could just tweak and fix for the 3DS and not have to go with all the graphical overhaul and stuff that's going to come with a remake for the home platforms. Like, that's why I said that. Like, they don't have to necessarily do all that work to fix the game for the DS. Like, it'd be fine. For home platforms, I know that they would, like, they're doing it. They're going to update the animations. They're going to update the characters' looks and all that. They'll probably update the voice work and stuff like that. Maybe get some remastered versions of the songs. Though the music in the game isn't bad, so I'm not going to say it's necessary, but it's just like that's possibly something that they would do. Like, that's just as far as my thought process goes. It's something that they would do. Now, for the 3DS, for either of these games, you don't need to use the bottom screen for much of anything. You really, truly don't. When you're playing in the main game, the bottom screen can literally just be used to show you what level you're on and what level you're on, like the number of the level and all that stuff. Like, basically the intro screens that happen for all the stages just stays at the bottom. Like, when the stage is coming on, the intro screen is at the top and then it slides down to the bottom on the 3DS, and then you're playing on the stage. That's all you really got to do. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot of work for that, and it's not something that's overly complicated, and it's something that would really easily work in for the 3DS for both of those games, for Sonic Adventure DX or Director's Cut, and for Sonic Adventure 2. Like, it works for both of those. And Sonic Adventure 2 would have to be Sonic Adventure 2 Battle so that you can have the multiplayer modes for everybody to be able to play. But that's really it. Those are the only two things I think would need to be done for the 3DS. Now, as far as Switch and other platforms and stuff like that, like again, if they're doing a remake, go ahead and do all the work that you're going to do and put that bad boy out. But please do not give Sonic boost. Do not take stuff from Sonic Unleashed and bring it backwards, because the boost mode came from Sonic Unleashed. Let Sonic and company retain their playability from the Sonic Adventure games and all their speed and stuff that came with it. Do not, and I repeat, Sega, do not at all put boost mode in for Sonic. I prefer he have his spin dash in these games, because it was a staple of those games and it was good for, it worked for those environments, for those games. Please, no boost at all. Like spin dash or nothing. That's it. But if it was going to do that and have the redone stuff, like, yeah, do director's cut with the content. And instead of having you like need to get all of the freaking emblems to play with Metal Sonic for Sonic Adventure Director's Cut, just put them in the damn game. Just put them there. Like, let you beat the game with all the characters in Super Sonic and unlock him, instead of going through trying to chase all of the emblems, because that gets annoying. Like I like it's an annoyance to do that. So just put them in there to be able to play with. Like, and then for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, just put the game in as is, but again, fix like some of the camera problems that can happen, because the same camera problems that could happen in Sonic Adventure 1 happened in Sonic Adventure 2. And that's just an unfortunate situation for those games. Like, but the games themselves are pretty damn good. Now, for the Chow Garden for both of these for the 3DS, I would say include a mode where you can build up your Chow, like kind of like how it used to be with the VMUs for the Sega Dreamcast, or when you connected Sonic Adventure 2 Battle to the a Game Boy Advance for GameCube. Do that and allow the top screen will show what's going on in the Chow Garden, and once you're in the once you put your Chow in the machine and start to try to play with them, like to build them up, like put the mini games back in it, put it down on the bottom screen of the 3DS and let you play with it that way. But like I miss those mini games. Like, and I know the PC version of Sonic Adventure 2 doesn't have that. I don't know about the first one. I didn't actually try to see if it had it in the Chow Gardens, but I don't think it does. When you put them in the machine in Sonic Adventure 2, that's basically just to release them to the wild. I'm like, well, that sucks. I put all this work into building this Chow up, this little blue little blue monster, like, and I can't play mini games with them outside of the Chow races or in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Chow Karate, even though that actually gets to be entertaining. But to me, I want to be able to do more with them. Like, they're there, like they had the mini games before, but like, just bring them back. That's all they got to do. Just bring them back. And just have when you're playing in the mini games with the Chow, like the little separate Chow adventure or whatever, the mini game can take place on the bottom screen, and the top half of the screen can show whatever character you have in the Chow Garden at the moment. Like if you have Sonic or Shadow or Robotnik or whoever is there, it'll just show that character is at the top. Like, hell, you could even have them playing on a 3DS or something, or something in their hands to symbolize that they're the ones controlling the Chow in the Chow Adventure mode on there. I actually miss having that. It was actually nice to have that. Now, for Switch versions, I guess you could just go ahead and stick with the PC version, because it doesn't have the separate screen, unless there's something Nintendo wants to do with a mobile app for a separate screen thing. But I have a video planned for that, so don't even worry about that. You guys don't understand once I put that video out. Even though it's probably going to be out well before this one, now that I'm thinking about it. And I just said that video is probably going to have been out weeks before this one, because I'm recording a bunch of them in a row. So, yeah, didn't think about that until just now. So you guys got the cat out the bag. Like I recorded this like almost a month ago. So like like hey, that's what I've been doing. I've been kind of recording them ahead, uploading them, and letting them go. Oh, thinking. Dun, dun, dun. Now, like for 3DS, obviously for multiplayer mode, it would have to be local direct connection or online. Like, and I would say the same thing for the Switch, local direct connection, or like you can also play two players on one unit anyway, but you can have it set up for all three modes of play. That's really it, just to allow people to be able to play the game and have fun with it and enjoy it. Just be able, that would actually be cool for the Sonic Adventure 2 battle. I don't think there's anything else I really want to add to it. Unless Sega would like to take my advice and at some point actually make a racing game, but that's a whole other kettle of worms that I'm not going to dive into at this particular point in time. So, thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out.